The bargain at Stardust Plaza. The Stardust Plaza gallery gleamed under modern lighting fixtures, each beam highlighting million-dollar paintings and sculptures, while casting shadows on the staff who kept the event running. Zara Nguyen adjusted her simple black uniform, stretching her tired fingers after hours of carrying trays and setting up displays. At 26, she moved with practiced efficiency between her 3 jobs: morning barista, afternoon art teacher for underprivileged kids, and evening event staff. Tonight's charity auction promised good tips, and every dollar counted toward her grandfather's mounting medical bills. "More champagne to the West Wing, please," her supervisor directed, barely looking at her. Zara nodded, used to invisibility in these spaces where wealth whispered against marble floors. She balanced the tray carefully, weaving between guests who never moved aside for serving staff. Her own painting sat in her tiny apartment, dreams deferred by necessity. Just as she rounded a corner, a man stepped directly into her path. "Excuse me," she murmured, attempting to sidestep. "No need to rush off," came a smooth voice. "The champagne can wait." Zara looked up into striking amber eyes. Elias Sterling. She recognized him immediately from tech magazines and business journals. At 34, he'd built Nova Technologies from nothing, revolutionizing artificial intelligence. His reputation with women was equally legendary. Brief, passionate affairs that ended with generous parting gifts. "I'm working, sir," Zara said firmly, maintaining professionalism despite her irritation. Elias smiled, revealing perfect teeth. "Everyone's working. I'm simply suggesting a more lucrative opportunity." Zara felt heat rise in her cheeks. "I should return to my duties." His hand touched her wrist gently. "I noticed your eyes earlier. There's depth there. Intelligence. You're not meant for carrying trays." "And what am I meant for, according to you?" The words escaped before she could stop them. "Dinner, tonight, after this tiresome event." His confidence was absolute. "I'll make it worth your while." Zara stared, momentarily speechless. "Are you propositioning me?" "I'm offering an opportunity. 1 night of your time, generously compensated." His voice dropped to a whisper. "Name your price." The champagne glasses trembled slightly as Zara's hand tightened on the tray. Her grandfather needed an experimental treatment insurance wouldn't cover. The amount she'd saved working triple shifts for months was still woefully inadequate. For a moment, desperation whispered temptation, then dignity roared back. "My time has value, Mr. Sterling. My company has value. Either are for sale." Her voice remained steady despite her racing heart. "I'm not a commodity to be purchased when convenient." Elias looked genuinely surprised. "That's not what It's exactly what you meant." Zara cut him off. "I may serve drinks in your world, but that doesn't make me available for your entertainment." Before he could respond, she turned away, spine straight, eyes forward. Behind her, Elias Sterling stood frozen, champagneless and speechless, possibly for the first time in his privileged life. Later that night, as Zara counted her tips, she noticed a business card tucked among the bills. On the back, in precise handwriting, "I apologize. You deserved better. Please call if you ever need anything." She almost threw it away, but something stopped her. 3 days later, when her grandfather's oxygen machine failed at 2 a.m., desperation overcame pride. Zara made the call, preparing to reject any inappropriate conditions. But Elias simply asked which hospital, arriving 30 minutes later with no expectations beyond helping a fellow human in need. The bargain offered at Stardust Plaza had changed, evolving into something neither of them had anticipated: the first fragile threads of respect, paintings and persistence. Zara stood before her easel, brush poised mid-stroke as sunlight streamed through her tiny apartment window. A week had passed since Elias had arranged for her grandfather's transfer to the city's premier medical center. No strings attached, he'd insisted. Yet here she was, painting his eyes from memory. "You're making a mistake," Maya said from Zara's threadbare couch. Maya Chen had been her best friend since art school, the only one who'd stuck around when Zara dropped out to care for her grandfather. "Men like Sterling don't change overnight. He's playing the long game." "He hasn't asked for anything," Zara countered, adding a stroke of amber to the canvas. "Not even a thank you." "Yet," Maya emphasized. "He wants what he couldn't buy that night. You're just a challenge now." The buzzer interrupted their conversation. Downstairs stood Elias, casually dressed in jeans and a simple button-down that probably cost more than her rent. "I was in the neighborhood," he offered, clearly lying since her building sat miles from any place a billionaire would frequent. Thought I'd check on your grandfather's progress. You could have called, Zara said, but stepped aside to let him enter. Elias's eyes immediately found her painting, widening slightly at the familiar gaze staring back. You're talented, he said quietly, moving closer to examine her technique.
Formally trained?
2 years at Pacific Arts Institute before life happened, she answered, resisting the urge to cover the canvas. Maya cleared her throat loudly. I should go. Call me later, she said meaningfully, shooting Elias a suspicious glance before leaving. Alone together, an awkward silence stretched between them until Elias spoke. I wanted to tell you the specialist has reviewed your grandfather's case. There's a treatment protocol they're recommending, which costs more than I'll make in 5 years, Zara finished for him. Let me cover it, Elias said simply. No conditions. No repayment. Zara stiffened. Why would you do that? Because I can, he answered. Then, more softly, and because you made me see something I'd forgotten existed. Integrity. Later that evening, as Zara worked her gallery shift, a familiar art dealer approached. Jasper Reed had always shown interest in both her and her work. Your piece sold, he said, handing her an envelope. That collector I told you about loved it. The amount inside made her gasp. There's more, Jasper continued. He wants to commission a series. He touched her hand lightly. Let me take you to dinner to discuss details. You deserve to celebrate. Jasper was safe, familiar with her world. Yet as they dined at a modest restaurant, Zara found herself comparing his pragmatic passion for art to Elias's raw intensity when he'd looked at her painting. You seem distracted, Jasper noted. Is it Sterling? Word travels about his visits to the gallery. He's helping my grandfather, she admitted. Jasper's expression darkened. Be careful, Zara. People collect beautiful things in many ways. That night, a text from Elias. Dinner tomorrow? Your choice of restaurant. As Zara hesitated, her grandfather spoke from his bed. The young man who visits, he looks at you the way I looked at your grandmother. Not as something to possess, but someone to cherish. He's from another world, Ongnoi. Then let him build a bridge to yours, her grandfather whispered. Sometimes the universe sends people to change us. Zara typed her reply. Yes, while wondering which of them would be changed more by whatever was beginning between them. Breaking barriers. This isn't what I expected, Elias admitted, watching neighborhood children splash in the community center's repurposed fountain. They sat on a bench eating banh mi from Zara's favorite street vendor. Disappointed? She asked, studying his reaction. Fascinated, he corrected. This feels real. My world is all smoke and mirrors. Over the past month, Zara had shown Elias her universe. Community art classes she taught. The Vietnamese market where vendors knew her by name. Rooftop poetry slams where artists spoke their truth. In return, he'd slowly revealed himself. The orphaned boy who'd built an empire to never feel powerless again. The man who'd forgotten how to connect without transaction. My mother called, Elias said suddenly. She's heard rumors about us. Are there rumors to hear? Zara asked carefully. His hand found hers, warm and certain. I hope so. The Sterling family mansion intimidated with its calculated perfection. Dinner with Elias's mother and sister unfolded exactly as Zara had feared. How quaint. To be an artist, Victoria Sterling commented, examining Zara like a curious specimen, though surely not sustainable as an actual career. Actually, Elias interjected, Zara just sold a commission series to the Westlake collection. Without your involvement? His sister Camille asked incredulously. Without my involvement, Elias confirmed, pride evident in his voice. Later, in his car, Zara remained quiet. I'm sorry about my family, he offered. They're exactly what I expected, she replied. This won't work, Elias. Our worlds are too different. He pulled over suddenly, turning to face her. I don't want someone from my world. I've tried that. It's empty. You challenge me, Zara. You make me question everything I thought I knew. And when you're done exploring the novelty of simplicity, when you want expensive galas instead of street food, that's not who I am with you, he whispered, leaning closer. You see me. Not my bank account. Their first kiss tasted of possibility and fear, sweet and dangerous. Days later, as Zara's art exhibition opened at a small gallery, she searched the crowd for Elias. He'd promised to come but hadn't arrived. Her heart sank, old insecurities resurfacing. Then Jasper appeared at her side. Impressive turnout, he noted, and achieved on your merit alone. What do you mean? She asked. Sterling hasn't been financing your success. I checked. He's kept his distance professionally, even declined when asked to invest in your collection. Jasper seemed surprised by his own discovery. He's letting you shine on your own. When Elias finally arrived, apologizing profusely for his delayed flight, Zara saw him differently, a man respecting her journey rather than trying to control it. That night, as they stood on her tiny balcony under the stars, Elias asked, "Do you trust me now?" "Even a little." Zara's answer came in the way she drew him inside, her paintings witnessing as barriers between their worlds began crumbling with each touch, each whispered discovery of one another. Their bodies spoke a language that required no translation, finding harmony despite coming from different worlds. Trust bloomed like her brush strokes, tentative at first, then bold and sure. Stars falling. He's just using you to feel better about himself. Victoria Sterling's words echoed as Zara scrolled through the society page. There was Elias, photographed at a charity gala with his ex-fiancée Adrienne, their heads close in conversation. The caption read, "Tech mogul Elias Sterling reunites with socialite Adrienne Walsh after months apart. Sources say the power couple may be reconciling." Zara hadn't been invited to that event. "It's just business," Elias had explained. "Boring fundraising for investors." Now her phone buzzed with messages from well-meaning friends sending the same photos, the same questions. "Did you know?" When Elias called, she let it go to voicemail. When he appeared at her door, she refused to answer. Pride and self-preservation formed a protective shell around her heart. "You need to talk to him," her grandfather advised from his wheelchair, healthier now thanks to treatments Elias had arranged. Why? So he can explain why he belongs with someone from his world after all? The pain in her voice was raw. Jasper visited daily, bringing coffee and comfort. "You're getting recognition now," he reminded her. "The Northside Gallery wants to feature your work. You don't need him anymore." There was truth in his words. Her career was finally taking flight. Buyers sought her unique perspective, her blending of Vietnamese heritage with modern urban themes. Jasper understood this journey. They spoke the same language of struggle and artistic sacrifice. One evening, as they worked late organizing her portfolio, Jasper gently tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. "We make sense together, Zara. We always have." His kiss offered safe harbor after stormy seas. Familiar, comfortable, lacking the fire that had burned with Elias, but perhaps that flame had been destructive anyway. Meanwhile, Elias faced his own reckoning. "You've changed," his sister observed over lunch at their usual exclusive restaurant. "Is that bad?" he asked. "You canceled the Singapore acquisition to spend time at community art classes. You wear the same watch every day now. The one she gave you that probably cost $30. Mother thinks you're having a breakdown." Elias laughed softly. "Maybe I am. Or maybe I'm finally seeing clearly." That night, as rain poured outside Zara's apartment building, two men arrived simultaneously. Jasper with gallery contracts and promises of steady support. Elias drenched and desperate, clutching something in his hand. 5 minutes, Elias pleaded. "Then I'll respect whatever you decide." Jasper stepped back reluctantly. "I'll wait downstairs." Alone with Elias, Zara maintained her distance. "Explain the photos." "Adrienne's father is dying. She needed support at the fundraiser for his medical foundation. Nothing more." He opened his hand, revealing a small key. "I sold my penthouse, and what?" "I bought a storefront in the arts district. The apartment above needs work, but it has good light for painting." His voice grew softer. "I'm opening a technology center for underserved youth. Teaching coding, digital art. Why?" she whispered. "Because you showed me purpose beyond profit. Whether you choose me or not, that lesson remains." He stepped closer. "I love you, Zara. Not as a novelty or a project. Just you." Downstairs, Jasper waited with practical promises and shared understanding. Upstairs, Elias offered uncertain magic and transformative love. Zara stood between worlds, her heart suspended between stars. Cosmic alignment dawn painted Zara's small apartment in gentle gold as she sat cross-legged on her floor, surrounded by sketches. Some depicted Jasper, steady, reliable, a guardian of artistic integrity. Others captured Elias, complex, evolving, a man rebuilding himself without abandoning his strengths. "What does your heart tell you?" her grandfather asked, watching her internal struggle. "That I'm afraid," she admitted. "Elias represents everything I never thought possible. With Jasper, I know exactly what tomorrow brings." "And which makes your soul want to paint?" The answer revealed itself in her artwork. Jasper appeared in careful, controlled lines while Elias emerged in bold, passionate strokes that flowed beyond boundaries. Her feelings manifested through her fingertips before her mind could name them. Zara found Jasper at their favorite cafe. His kind eyes already held understanding. "You're choosing him," he stated simply. "I'm choosing the unknown," she corrected gently. "Thank you for being my safe harbor when I needed one." Jasper nodded, professional even in heartbreak. "The gallery offer stands. Your talent deserves recognition regardless." Finding Elias proved more challenging. He wasn't at his office or the community center. Finally, she tried the storefront he'd mentioned, a dusty space in transition between what was and what could be. She found him on his knees installing flooring himself rather than hiring it done. "You could afford contractors," she noted from the doorway. He looked up, hope and caution battling in his expression. "Some things should be built by hand. They mean more that way." Zara stepped inside, surveying the space. "Tell me about your vision here." As Elias described technology classes for neighborhood kids, art programs and community gathering spaces, she witnessed the synthesis of their worlds. His resources meeting her community's needs without erasure or condescension. "This isn't about impressing you," he finished. "I'll create this whether you choose me or not." "And if I do choose you?" she asked softly. "Then we build it together, your vision equal to mine." He stood, closing the distance between them. "I don't want to change your world, Zara. I want to be part of it. I want you to be part of mine. Not separate lives, but something new we create together." Later that evening, beneath twinkling lights on the rooftop of his unfinished building, Elias and Zara laid out dreams under actual stars. Her paintings would hang in galleries on their own merit. His technology would serve more than shareholders. Their different backgrounds becoming strength rather than division. "We'll face opposition," she warned, thinking of his family, her friends. "Let them oppose," he answered, drawing her closer. "We've already won the hardest battle." "Which was?" "Finding someone who sees you completely and loves you anyway." His fingers traced her cheek. "Who challenges you to grow without changing your essence." Their kiss sealed promises beneath the cosmos, two bodies finding the language of compromise and passion. His hands learned the geography of her dreams. Her touch mapped the terrain of his transformation. Together they created art more intimate than any canvas could capture. Months later, as they prepared for the community center's grand opening, Zara added final brushstrokes to the mural spanning its walls, diverse figures reaching toward a shared future, different worlds connected by bridges of understanding. "It's perfect," Elias said, standing behind her with arms wrapped around her waist. "Not perfect," Zara corrected, leaning into his embrace. "Real, with flaws and possibilities. Like their love, imperfect, challenging, authentic, a masterpiece still being painted stroke by stroke under the vast, forgiving canvas of stars."